Hi, I'm Maddie, and welcome back to PHS Now. This is the September 2020 edition. This month we have some great things going on here at Piqua High School, like the football team going 6-0 and our student and staff dedication to keeping safe during this pandemic. First we spoke to Mr. Collins. His class is learning how to operate a forklift, a skill that is in high demand.
Hi, my name is Mr. Collins, and I'm the instructor of the Mechatronics program here at Piqua High School. One of the most important aspects of this program early on in the year is we talk about forklift operation and safety. Now, you're like, forklifts, what's that? Well, just like this small sample here, that you have right here, it is a skill that is very important, especially in today's society. Who would have thought that 6 months ago we would have been going into this COVID thing? And now you're probably ordering and delivering and having more things delivered to your house every day. Did you know behind every Amazon truck, UPS truck, FedEx truck, and every other carrier out there, there's a fleet of employees driving one of these forklifts just to make sure you get your goods at home when you need them. That's why this is so important. It's an in-demand job. Every day that they're looking for more forklift operators, and locally too. This isn't something that you have to travel for. This is locally. Companies like Amazon, FedEx, UPS right around the corner, Procter & Gamble at the airport. All of these need forklift drivers every day. For example, just even a couple years ago, on the last day of school, one of the P&G, Procter & Gamble, HR people came in willing to hire every senior I had in class to operate a forklift. That's how in demand this job is. So don't be afraid of these. They're actually pretty fun to run. And the other part of this program goes along with is Skills USA. Skills USA is a student-led organization that helps you grow your skills in not only technical areas, but also allows you to grow skills in leadership that you can use later on in your life in the workplace.
Next, we take a look into Mr. Agnew's class, where students are learning to fly high with a newly purchased flight simulator.
Hi, my name is Mr. Agnew. I'm the physics and physical science teacher here at Piqua High School, and for the 2021 school year, I'm also the instructor for the new aeronautics program we're offering that's ran through the AOPA, which is the American Pilots Association. The goal of the first year course is a basic introductory class into aviation, where you learn about where aviation started from, where it came from, where it goes to. And there's a lot of hands-on activities that we do through this course. One of the first projects we just actually completed was building hot air balloons out of tissue paper. Next, we're going to look at gliders. We're going to build our own wind tunnel. Along with this curriculum that we're doing, we also have some flight simulators, which are really cool because as a student in the classroom, you get some hands-on experience of learning various flight skills of flying an aircraft. Now, these are not your ordinary, you spend $50, you buy a game and you sit there and fly on your computer. These are $4,000 flight simulators that we have with the rudder pedals, with the yoke, with the throttle. And so you sit down there, you fly, and there's various missions that you have to go through. If you complete them successfully, you receive a grade. If you don't, you still receive a grade, but you don't pass. So you have to pass one before you go to the second mission, so on and so forth. So it kind of gives you a real world experience of what it's like to fly. Now, why are we doing that? Well, like we said, it's a 4-year program. By the end of the 3rd, 4th year, as a student in the class, you have a choice of either going off the drone route or going off to the pilot's route and either getting your commercial drone license, or as a pilot, getting your ground school taken out of the way and getting that taken care of. So all you have to do is do the actual flying part. So you're halfway to your pilot's license. So that's where the flight simulator comes in hand, as you learn the skills, you learn the stuff you need to, so that way you can save you some money. So when you go to do your ground school, boom, done, out of the way. Or if you become a pilot, you already have some experience that otherwise you'd have to pay for by flying in the air. Now, one of the things we're looking at doing is when we get to offering the 3rd and 4th year course is getting a couple flight simulators that are even nicer than what we got, that are actually certified AOPA flight simulators that can, get you that flight school component. So that's with the flight simulators. We also have some drones that we use in the course, which give you some experience of flying around the drones, and as we get used to those, we'll get some bigger drones. So like we said, at the end of the third or fourth year, you can take the test and you can possibly get your commercial drone license. So the idea of the whole course is the first year is to get you experienced, interested in the aviation, and as you go each year, you start to get a little bit more serious to maybe open up some career opportunities that otherwise you would not have been able to attain, or also maybe some jobs, not necessarily being a pilot, but that happen within the aviation community that you can go and get. So that's all we have there for the aviation program. Thank you very much for watching.
Now we'll join the Police Academy class as they take part in a mock crash.
Yeah, so this week for the apprenticeship class, we had mock crash week. We brought in some crashed up cars from Dick Lumpkins. We also had brought in some pizza from Papa John's Pizza. We took 3 days and we went over the basic measurements to determine speed and for our crashes, kind of how we go about taking measurements and stuff like that. Class did a great job. They paid attention, took measurements. We placed the cars back at the scene, and ultimately we were able to determine what the speed was.
A great thing happened this month at PHS. Students and staff took part in Fall Fest. This gave students and staff members a chance to take a much needed break.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that we got out and had got a chance to get the kids out. When you're walking the hallways, and just I noticed that many of our kids, we're not hearing the laughter, the conversations, and it's because of all the things and the regulations that we're doing to try to keep kids safe so that we can stay in school. So we worked with the health department and found out a way that we could have an event outside for our kids to come out and share some time with themselves and get a chance to just be kids again. And so we had this fall day. I asked our PBIS team to come out to plan this, and literally it started out as, hey, I want to figure out a way to grill hot dogs for the kids one day, and it turned into this event of wagon rides or hay rides and pumpkin painting and all kinds of different activities, fishing and sack races, so things that kids are just that like to do. And I tell you what, as we walk around and see all this, the kids are laughing. They're doing what we're asking them to do, and they're being with their friends, and they're still following the right guidelines that were set out for us. So it's been a wonderful day, and it's just, like I said, it just feels good to get our community and our environment going again. Thank you. Welcome to our next episode of Piqua High School Now. this episode, I'd like to highlight our art program. We got some wonderful things going on, and I have 4 wonderful students I'd like to introduce to you. Go ahead, Mahala. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to Piqua?
I'm Mahala Bragg, and I'm a sophomore.
And Mahala, you are currently in our digital arts program. You're taking some classes there. What class are you taking?
I'm taking Intro Design with Miss Reckert.
And what are some projects that you've been working on in Intro to Design?
We worked on typography, perspective, and we are just finished working on a fruit bowl, which has gradients and overlapping with shapes.
What's typography? I'm sorry, I don't know what that is.
It's where you can take words and change those words and like make them look like they're moving with like a certain line or whatever.
Okay, now I saw like there's some pictures out in the hallway with some kids that have some, they wrote within the pictures. Did you do something like that?
Yeah, I did a mug with like the steam going off, so like the steam has like words and like my mug says mug in it.
I got it. Now, do you know, you probably don't know this, but I shared that on Twitter and also with all the staff because I thought it was such a neat project. So anyway, tell me a little bit about this fruit bowl.
So with the fruit bowl, we just finished it yesterday. We turned it in. We did gradients with our pineapple. So with the pineapple, there's a lot of gradients in it. And then with our pear and apples, we did a lot of overlapping with it.
Okay. And so you change. I was in there in one of the classes where you guys were working on. I know you guys were manipulating different shapes to turn them into, different objects or whatever. And you're changing the colors to provide shading and all that. Is that what you meant by gradients? Yeah. Okay. And so, was that a pretty difficult thing to learn? There was a lot of buttons you had to click there when I was watching.
Yeah, so there's a lot of steps that go into it, but I'm a fast learner, so I was good with it, like getting the steps.
Okay, that's what Miss Reichert told me. Actually, do you feel like this is a skill or something that you might use in a future career or college?
Yes, so I plan on going to college and doing something with animals, but I want to minor in business because I would like to do something with my own artwork and like sell it and stuff.
Well, that's great. I really appreciate you coming out and talking to me, and you're a fine artist. I really enjoyed the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Isaac, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
I'm Isaac Jazwicki, and I'm a senior.
So, Isaac, you're in Mr. Fashioner's class and a traditional art student. What is your favorite medium that you like to do in art?
I like to use colored pencil, regular graphite pencil sometimes, paint, and I think that's it.
Okay. So let's think the colored pencils. You probably don't have just the 8 colored pencil set, right? You probably have some pretty special colored pencils.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you said you painted. And do you do that also, Mr. Fashioner's?
Yeah. Right now I'm working on a pair of shoes for Mrs. Smeezing for the Ohio State. Like, it's a colorway of Ohio State, and it has Ben Smeezing's number on it and his name, and just the Buckeyes and stuff like that.
Oh, really? Now, is that? Can you give me an example of probably what your favorite thing that you've worked on is?
My favorite thing is something I made from freshman or sophomore year, and it was in graphite pencil, and it was with inanimate object like a mannequin, and it had a background on it that was in depth and detail.
Okay, and so how long did it take for you to create a piece of art like that?
About 2 weeks.
Did it really? Now, did you work on that outside of class, or did you just pretty much do it the whole time while you were in there?
All in class.
Okay. And so it took you 2 weeks to do that? Yeah. I bet it was pretty special. You're pretty talented, aren't you? Well, at least I think you are. You might not think so. So you are working on something. We were talking earlier in your AP art, and I'm going to go ahead and mess this up. What is it that you're working on again?
A sustained investigation.
A sustained investigation. Now that sounds like some type of criminal thing or whatever, like, the detectives do, but could you kind of explain to us what that is?
Basically, it's something that all the artwork that I work on is about. Like, if it were to go into my portfolio for an AP art, all of it would have to deal with the same thing. So like mine is reflections. So all my artwork will have reflections in it, and it can be any medium, but all of it's that sustained investigation, which is reflections.
Okay. And so I'm going to try to picture something. It would be like you would see like somebody looking at themselves in a pond or something, that kind of thing. Oh, excellent. And so you've been working on that now, and you're not Have you have any pieces already created for that?
Yeah, I made one that is with like cards falling into like a pond type of thing.
So that's probably pretty difficult to do. But once again, you're a talented guy. Well, thank you very much for coming out and talking with us, and I wish you the best of luck on your projects.
Finally, let's meet the new French teacher at PHS, Miss Plattfoot.
A whole lot of things, but mainly I had an extremely excellent teacher, and I fell in love with the language. And then I was an au pair, so a French nanny, and I absolutely loved working with those children and being a part of the working language and getting to know the culture. And then coming back and doing all of my training and getting to work with other students and other teachers, it's just without a doubt exactly what I need to be doing and what I love. I was raised, grew up, and went to school at Anna, so just up the road from here, so it's very comfortable. I've been a part of multiple communities and went and worked and did a bunch of subbing and a lot of other things, but this is my first full-time job. So far, I've absolutely loved being here and getting to know everyone, from students to staff. It's been absolutely incredible. Everyone has been very helpful and welcoming, so it's been an understatement to say it's been excellent. Everything has been excellent. Being able to be around everyone and get to feel the community a little bit more has been very fun. To get to know it a little bit more than just what I grew up knowing of Piqua has been very fun.
Thank you for joining us this month for PHS Now. We look forward to seeing you next month for the October edition where spooky things happen. And remember, I'm Maddie.